He was like sweating.
Damn, that's crazy. Driving like a weirdo.
My Uber driver was a maniac.
Pure panic mode. What did I get? Just rip it and rip it. Yeah. That's what we're gonna do.
You know what? Let me take my little slides off. Get cozy.
Yeah, get super cozy.
My socks, just me and my socks, dude.
And the slides are kind of cozy. Well,
They are
yeah,
pretty
okay.
cozy.
Like just the socks is obviously.
But breathability. Oh, look at these toesies. Dude, you had your first experience at the CMA Fest this weekend.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'd been to CMA once before.
Oh, you have?
But it was just a quick like literal just like walking through like across the street basically. That was the first time I actually hung out at CMA Fest.
Chaos, huh?
Oh, pure chaos. And I knew it would be. Honestly, like the stage that we went to wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it was mellow.
pretty. It was like in the morning, right? Early afternoon.
Like noon, right at noon actually.
Going to see our boy play.
Yeah, I got to see Bob play. That was pretty freaking sick.
That was awesome. Hang out with the gang.
And we tried to get into the riverfront stage.
Dude, that was nuts.
I got legit stressed out when the dudes...
You did. Okay, I looked back at you and like this sea of people comes closing in and like the gate closes off before we can make it through, and like all of our other friends made it through, and it's like, oh.
I was like, I'm out of here. Dude,
the look on your face, dude. You were like,
I instantly like got hot. Because dude, it went from like us having like 4 feet around each of us to literally everyone being in like closed in.
Butts.
It was really tight. And
dude, I kept
like
touching this old
heat.
lady's butt with my hand. Like I was just like walking, and then like because we were so close, like it kept like accidentally grazing her butt, and I'm like, I don't want to be touching this lady's butt.
Yeah, but you did. You did anyway.
I did it.
Yeah, I get it.
Sorry, lady.
I just got like hot. Like you could literally feel human heat around you because it was so hot out.
It was hot already.
Yeah.
I got a little, I didn't get burnt, but yeah, I got some sun.
I felt crusty after that day. I felt really crusty. But yeah, that was cool. That was, I'm glad we got to experience it together.
Yeah, that was sweet. Good crew too.
What's up?
Good crew too.
Yeah, we had a good crew down there. We got to see Bob play, which is cool. He's the bassist for the James Barker band.
Yeah.
We gonna get him on the pod?
We should get him on the pod.
We'll get him on the pod someday.
We should get him on the pod.
Anyways, today we kind of just wanted to have a little KIFCAST conversation and reflect.
Little reflection.
Kind of a little trip reflection.
Just a quick little reflection.
Anytime you, me, and Ryan are together, we reflect on this trip, but it's kind of exciting to do it in a more, I don't want to say formal because this is not formal, but in a way. I
forgot my tie for this formal reflection.
On the record, we are, revisiting this trip and kind of going through the motions of it because we're planning another trip to Europe here in a couple months. Yeah. And yeah, I guess, what was it? Middle of summer last year, we're about to lose our boy Kaz to Sweden. Literally,
super last minute.
Yeah, this thing was sparked up really quick. We had, I want to say like 4 weeks by the time we actually decided like we're going.
Yeah.
4 weeks between the day we decided and the day we left. And
okay, wait, hold on. Let's rewind a little bit more. Because even talking about this trip, I remember talking to Kaz like, oh, cool. Like, you should come out to Sweden, watch me play. I'm like, yeah, that would be sick.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, Jason's talking about going too. And we were at the Hilson.
Yeah, at the
Kaz
pool.
and Whit were, they were in town. What was that like? When was that?
That was their last trip to Nashville before he left for Sweden. So middle of July.
Yeah, that would check out.
Yep. So
and that was when the conversation first started of like, cool, let's go. And then you were like, oh, my buddy Ryan really wants to go. We had been planning a trip before, and I had never met Ryan. So like the 3 or 4 FaceTimes that we had planning trips was like, hey Ryan, what's up?
What's up, dude? It's good to meet you.
We're gonna go to Europe together. Sick.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. The plan to go visit Kaz has been in the books since the entire time he was in Sweden to play hockey. And obviously with COVID and stuff for the last 3 or 4 years of planning different trips to Europe, it's like, all right, we'll put it off a few months and see if this clears up. We'll put it off a few more months, see if it clears up. And then it's like, oh, we can go here and here, but it's not really the places we are dying to go to.
Right.
So there wasn't a sense of urgency because we just wanted to enjoy it. Obviously, when you go over there, you want to enjoy specific pieces, and we all had our places that we were like, we have to go here, we have to check this out. And when it's half closed, you have to quarantine or whatever. We're like,
Oh yeah, no, that kind of takes the fun out of it. And it's like, the whole point is to go experience like the culture there. And if the culture there is like a COVID culture, it's obviously not the authentic experience that you're trying to get. So yeah, I mean, that obviously makes things super difficult.
Yeah. And then this year, end of 2022, it wasn't the first time we could have done it for sure, but it was when it worked out for all of us, for you, for Ryan, for myself. And yeah, Kaz left, went back to Minnesota, and then from Minnesota went to Sweden like a week and a half or 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, when do you guys want to go? And we're, in our heads, it made sense to go. Well, it was still warm enough to enjoy a place like Stockholm. And we went the end of August. So we were in Stockholm in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And we were cooking. We were FaceTiming like twice a week for like 2 or 3 times a week for like 3 weeks.
like booking the tickets. It was like, boom, they're booked. It was like, whoa, that escalated quickly. Like we literally just started talking about this like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Before you knew it, we had tickets. I flew separate from you guys. I flew United. You guys flew TAP or Air Portugal?
Air Portugal. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Well, it was great because like we all ended up meeting in New York, which was the first time I met Ryan in person. Like I had been FaceTiming him, building up this whole this meeting, and man, he did not disappoint. He came in hot.
He did. I forgot. He was like sweating. Like my Uber driver was a maniac, flipping. Never experienced New York before.
Yes, huge ball of energy. Like we're walking out of this pizza shop. The pizza shop was great. And he's like kicking his bag, trying to get the handle to come out of it, like dragging a skateboard with him. Just an absolute disaster, dude. It was great. It was great. But yeah, that was definitely a great first meeting. Going into Europe and like just hanging out in New York was a perfect kind of like prequel to the whole thing.
Yeah, it was perfect. I mean, we flew, Bonesy and I flew Nashville to New York. Ryan flew Denver to New York on Southwest flights. We got there probably 2 hours before Ryan did. Yeah. So we went and got coffee.
We hung out with Alan.
Yeah, hung out with Alan for a couple hours.
Yes,
we purposefully did an 8-hour-ish layover because we really wanted to. I hadn't been to the city in a while, so selfishly, I was like, let's do it. Let's go check out the city. Let's grab pizza. Let's get some good coffee. And of course, let's go to B&H Photo.
Oh, yeah, duh.
That was my motivation.
You and Ryan were so hyped on that.
Yeah. So we went, literally checked all the boxes.
Yeah.
Got
into
coffee.
Central Park for a second.
Yeah.
Just a quick second, like dipped our toes into Central Park. Was like, all right, cool, we got to go.
And somehow it was like the hottest day in New York.
It was really hot.
In that whole, within that whole week on the weather app, I remember it was, man, I don't know how hot it was, but we were carrying all of our luggage, so it didn't matter. We were hot anyways. Yeah, busted into New York for a bit, and then all went to LaGuardia?
We took an Uber out to Newark, and again, like Uber driver was awesome, hanging out with us and everything like that. But that was like the perfect little like adventure, like just to kick things off. And it was like its own whole trip that we crammed into that. What do you say, like 8 hours or something like that?
Yeah, we had a total of an 8-hour layover. Yeah. Ryan's, I guess, was probably 6.
Yeah.
So even faster pace for him.
Yeah,
more overwhelming.
Dude, just like watching him try to soak in as much as possible. Like that was his first time in New York, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was overwhelmed.
Yeah, big time. So yeah, we boogied on over to Newark and parted ways for the next 10 hours.
Dude, Ryan and I almost missed that first flight.
I cannot believe
we were just sitting there hanging out, and I think I was like, oh, whatever, we got plenty of time. Like, I'm just gonna like, I think I needed to charge my phone or something like that. And I like opened up a book. I'm like, we're just chilling, dude.
Yeah.
And they were like paging us, and we're like, oh, we gotta go. And we're like sprinting, and we barely caught that flight.
Really?
We didn't tell you that?
I knew you guys like cut it close, but I didn't know it was that close. I thought it was dude, we have 20 minutes.
There were 2 people behind us.
Oh shoot.
That were also like scrambling. We were like, oh my God, dude, if we miss this flight, it's like we don't even make it to Europe. Like,
damn.
But yeah, it was
That would've
great.
sucked.
I do remember sitting at the terminal and looking at like the terminal across from us where you were sitting.
Yeah.
And we were like, "Yo, Jason, we'll see you in Europe." Like so pumped.
It was awesome. Yeah. The only reason we flew separate, I guess, just to add some context, was I used points, big points, dude. And yeah, I had a bunch of United points. So I was like, I think I paid $80 to upgrade my seats just to have,
Oh, yeah.
it was like an extra 40 each way.
Yeah.
So I paid $80 for my round trip to Europe. And yeah, so we left Newark, boogie over to Stockholm. I had a layover in Amsterdam, which was such a tease because their Zandvoort F1 race was 30 minutes away.
Oh,
That
bummer.
right when I landed, but all good. But anyways, Amsterdam too. I mean, just in general, it's another place I want to experience. You guys had a layover in Lisbon.
Yeah, we went into Lisbon. And honestly, like I hadn't really known much about Lisbon before that. And then I was talking to a couple other people who'd been there, and I'm like, man, Lisbon looks great. Like I would love to go there. And I know we've talked about going there too.
Yeah.
And actually, Alan had gone before, and he's like, dude, Lisbon's incredible. And like just flying in there was, again, kind of a tease.
Yep.
Where it's like, man, we're in another great spot.
Yep.
Incredible destination, but had a little layover. We actually made that flight nice and easy. We didn't scramble to get
Shocker.
onto that one. Oh yeah, why am I like this, dude?
It happens. You get
happens.
excited. Or you just get tired because you're just on a plane for 8 hours.
I mean, there's a certain level of confusion too.
Yeah, big time. A few hours later, we land in Stockholm, Sweden. You guys got in. I was supposed to get in first, but there were some delays leaving Amsterdam.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
that's right.
And then you guys got in. I think you waited like 30 minutes for me or something. But yeah, we were all zombies, and then got into the city center, downtown Stockholm, and a switch just flipped, and
Oh,
we
man.
were flipping. We were literally flipping. We took this Uber from Arlanda. Is that how you pronounce it? Arlanda, the Stockholm airport.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
ARN, if anyone needs the airport code. We land in there, get an Uber. It's like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
30, 40
Dude,
minutes.
like honestly, just the clip that you got walking up to me and Ryan in baggage claim, and we're just like, yo, we made it.
Yeah.
Like just that moment, like, I don't know, I tell you this all the time. Whenever I go on trips, it usually doesn't hit me until like halfway through that first day. And all of a sudden it's just this overwhelming, like, oh my God, we're here. And I think that moment, it was like, just excited to see you. Like boys are reunited. We're in a totally new place. And yeah, I ended up popping out of there, grabbing an Uber into the city and going to our hotel.
Yeah, we stayed at the Hotel Ryzen.
Dude, such a sick hotel.
It is an amazing hotel in Sweden.
Ryzen.
We loved that place. We ended up working with them and doing a content exchange. Somehow it worked out, which was a blessing. Honestly, just having that place. We had a couple rooms, and honestly, thinking about it now, being in Gamla. Hopefully that's
Opa Galmastan.
hopefully it's like the old town area, but it's also the middle island.
Yeah.
So 5 minutes north is a bunch of shopping, cool museums, amazing
Bunch of shopping, dude.
Yeah, incredible
I've
food.
never seen so much shopping.
Yeah, incredible food, coffee. And then 5 minutes south is the South Island, Sodermalm, and it is a bunch more great food and more. I feel like that was the more locals kind of vibe.
Okay, dude, like even just talking about the lay of the land and the city in general, I'm having that same feeling when it's like overwhelming, like we did it. We're here. We're in a totally different place. Like, oh my God, so excited. Like reliving this just now, it's like, oh my God, Stockholm was so sick.
It was amazing. And we landed, we were all like, yeah, I don't know, maybe we'll go back and, kick it for the night. Nope. We landed. The excitement was through the roof. And then we showered. We all cleaned up because we were like, airplane, smelly, sweaty, whatever. Had been in those clothes for 24 hours at this point, and we just boogied. From there, we explored Old Town or Gamla, and we went and got, remember the Italian food?
Oh, that first night.
Yeah.
The first meal that we had.
Spago?
That was so good.
Some of the best Italian food I've ever had.
Hold on. Who was like the hype guy that was just walking? He was like dabbing everybody up in the restaurant. Like he was, I don't know if he was the server or like.
Oh, yeah. Was it the older dude?
Yeah.
I think he was.
Dude, he was legit just walking around the restaurant, just like, yo, how's the food? How's everything going? Like, just hyping everybody up.
Just buzzing.
He was just like, hyping us up too.
Yeah, he was awesome. And that was our first, other than the quick convenience store to grab water or whatever we did, that was the first, Stockholm experience we had where we were interacting with locals. And yeah, it was really rad. He instantly was like, Americans. And he's like,
Just so obvious.
you guys just get in kind of thing, was asking questions and so on. And it was cool because it was the first, like I said, the first experience, the first interaction we had. So it was a nice welcome, had incredible food.
Yeah.
And then we were the sunset the first night too.
Yeah.
We went to that
Sucker
like
for a good
boardwalk
sunset.
area.
Yeah, that was a cool spot to walk around too.
Yeah, had an overview of the whole city. I'll try to throw a clip in if you're watching it, but unbelievably beautiful. And we got back to the hotel that night and we're so wired. Remember, we couldn't sleep.
Dude.
We went to the convenience store at like midnight.
Well, that was like the theme, man. It was like every
true.
night we're like, all right, cool, let's get a good night rest, whatever. And then we're like, I don't know, we could stay up though, and just like a bunch of excited kids just bouncing off the walls.
Oh, it was so good. You guys got so much candy there. That convenience store is probably in business because of you guys.
Well, of course, you got to go experience the local candy scene because it's obviously very different from American candy.
European chocolate hits different, huh?
In Sweden.
In Sweden. Day 2, we wake up. We get ourselves some delicious breakfast at the hotel.
Oh yeah, the breakfast there was great.
Incredible people, incredible breakfast, and in the most perfect spot. Seriously, could not recommend that place enough. But yeah, get up day 2, eat, walk around the city, snap photos, get incredible coffee, all that stuff. And then we take a train an hour and a half into the middle of nowhere in Sweden to watch Kaz play a preseason game. That was its own story too.
Middle of nowhere, yeah. Yeah, it was nice like talking to Kaz on that one episode and kind of recapping that whole experience. And it really was just like out in the middle of nowhere. But it was so nice because we ride this train out there, me, you, Ryan, kind of this fun, like, going to this new place again. But getting off the train and seeing Whit and Fox was like, oh my God, familiar faces, like so excited. And she was very excited to see us too. And didn't we like almost get ran over by a train?
Likely. Highly likely.
I think we were like so excited to see them. We're like crossing these tracks. And like,
oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Almost
I forgot about that. It was just this sketchy little gate that you walk through.
Yeah.
It was this small town in the middle of nowhere in Sweden. Mm-hmm. I think Witter Kaz said it's only 3,000 or 5,000 people, maybe.
Yeah, I forgot what he said it was.
Kind of farm country. So beautiful though.
Very beautiful.
And beautiful spot to see a preseason game. Later that night, we cruised back. We drove back to Stockholm with Whitney.
Yeah.
Kaz met us down there the next day, and the next couple days were just us hanging out, catching up with everyone. They kind of showed us around because they had been to Stockholm a handful of times, and man, that place is amazing.
So much fun.
Yeah.
And I know, like, I wasn't a big scooter person before this trip. I hadn't really experienced like the whole like bird scooter, lime scooter thing, the bike situation,
Culture.
whatever. It is a culture, and I am in on it. Like, just bombing around in Stockholm, like, just, yo, dude, I'm just going to jump on this scooter and just head across town. Not a big deal. That's incredible, dude. Like,
it's
as
so
a
nice.
tourist, just to experience the city. And the fact that Stockholm was set up, it was, like, so bike-friendly. And you can tell, like, certain times of days, it was just packed with people on their bikes because that's how people commuted.
Yeah, big time. That was so cool. Yeah, I think that was one of the first things I kind of noticed was obviously there's bike lanes everywhere, which double as the scooter lanes there. And everyone rides bikes to work.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah.
It was such a beautiful thing. And everyone's just like, listen, I don't want to make a general statement like this, but it seemed like everyone was just in great shape, healthy, living their best life, riding to work.
Dressed
they were
really
happy.
Nice. Everyone in Sweden somehow looked like they were on the cover of a magazine.
Yeah. True.
We're walking around just like Americans, like, I don't know, is this outfit okay?
Yeah, right.
I'm here on vacation, but like, I feel like I'm underdressed.
Big time. Everyone looks so good in Sweden. A lot of beautiful people, a lot of beautiful women in Sweden.
Yeah. Yeah, you were in La La Land.
I fell in love a few times. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Yeah, then we did that whole thing, had incredible food again, and the nightlife. What do you think about that the nightlife?
Nightlife was great, honestly. Like everywhere we did go, we felt welcome.
Yeah, very welcome.
What was the name of the place that we went to that one night?
The first night?
The first night and then the second night, right?
We went to that weird Peroni party.
Oh,
that
was
we
so
had.
random.
This was the first time we went out. We just heard bass from blocks away.
Yes.
It was the loudest place I've still ever been to in my life.
Yeah.
And
we almost didn't go in.
no, Ryan literally walked up to this bouncer. It was this beautiful Swedish woman that was a bouncer, and walks up to this lady and just goes, "Hey, can we go in?"
Hey.
He did though.
Hey.
It was very like,
He really did, yeah.
"Hey, can we go in?" And she literally looked us up and down.
Yes.
It just grabs the rope, unclicks it, and was like, "Have fun."
It's like a very open to the public thing, and we're like, "Can we go?"
I don't think it was though.
Well, there was like the VIP section that basically cut the entire place in half.
Yeah, that's true.
And there was like the VIP because we tried to go in there. And the guy was like, "No, homie, not happening."
Everyone was dressed to the nines there.
Yeah.
Everyone was dressed so nice.
Yeah, right.
And we kind of just stood there and watched because we were like, what the frick is going on?
Yeah.
Left that place, and some locals told us to go to another spot. It was like F12, which we later found out is like not sick.
It is funny, like talking to people about that place afterwards. They're like, "Dang, you really went there?
You guys went to F12?
Why would you do that?"
We're like, we were just told
Like, we don't know.
to go there. So we went.
There was just more bass and dancing around.
Yeah, we just wanted to boogie. Literally.
Let's have a boogie.
Let's have a boogie. What else? What else about the nightlife? Trad Garden.
Yes.
How dare we try to skip over that place?
Say it. Like I don't know the pronunciation.
That's absolutely not how you say it.
Trad
But
Garden.
Trad
Garden. No clue, but yeah, dude, that I've never experienced something like that before.
Incredible. That was like the coolest place I've ever gone out and spent an evening.
Yeah.
Straight up, the coolest place.
Yeah, I'd literally there was ping pong there. There was like
Food trucks.
food trucks.
Or I think,
everywhere.
was there food trucks?
I don't know.
there's
I
at
got a
least
slice of pizza at some point.
Yeah, there was a full pizza you could get. It was like 6 places in once. There was a
Yeah.
speakeasy. There was a club, like a legit DJ set. There was that upstairs like laser show place that was its own DJ set. There was swings on a hill. It was crazy. It was insane.
Dude, there was one point I was talking to
were
these 2
skate
guys
ramps.
from Australia, this girl from Sweden, these 2 guys from I don't even remember where these guys were from. And everyone was so cool. And it was just kind of this big melting pot of cultures.
Yep.
And like I think at some point I went to go like find you guys. And I'm like, "You guys want to go meet up with my friends? Like, come on, let's go." Like, and I remember like running back into you guys. You guys were all like dancing and at this DJ set or whatever.
was
I'm like,
so
"Yeah,
cool.
I just met these guys. They're all so cool."
Yeah. Man, and then, when we were eating pizza, that crew of Swedes walked up to us.
Oh,
and
that's
they were-
right. Yeah.
We ended up just hanging out
So
with them all
nice,
night.
man.
The nicest dudes, the nicest girls we've ever met. Like straight up. They were just like, "Yeah, come dance like you're at your..." I can't remember what he said. He's like,
yeah,
"Dance
what
like
did that
you're
guy-
at your best friend's wedding."
Yeah, he was like getting pissed.
Yeah. He's
He's like, "What are you doing?"
like, "What did I tell you?"
"I demand partying."
Yeah. He was awesome. And they were just the sweetest people ever. So welcoming, and kind of just pulled us into the pit. "This is my other friend. This is my other friend.
right.
These
So
are our new
welcoming.
American friends." So it was perfect.
Well, like a lot of them had lived in the U.S., right? I think some of them were saying they lived in New York.
I think everyone I met there lived in New York City for a chunk of time.
Yeah, that's what I remember like noticing too.
Yep.
Everyone at some point had lived in New York.
Yep. But yeah, that place was special. I think it holds a special place in my heart
Dude,
forever.
okay. Do you remember even just like riding up to that place
Yeah.
on the scooters?
Yep.
It was the longest scooter ride of the entire trip.
I think that was still the longest scooter ride of
Dude,
my
I remember
life.
getting to a certain point where I was like, "Man, 1, are we going in the right direction? And 2, like we're getting pretty far."
Yeah, it was like the southernmost tip of the southern island.
Yeah.
It was like a 30-minute scooter ride straight.
Dude, like walking up, it was like this could either be the most crazy, awesome experience or the biggest letdown.
Yeah. Well, in my head, because we had asked some people what the spot is.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, people are either messing with us and they're just telling us this shithole. It's just this cruddy place.
Yeah.
Or it's actually the coolest. Turns out, coolest place ever.
Checks out. It's the coolest.
Yeah. And we all had that mentality of like, we hear what's going on, but we couldn't find the gate. And then we roll up and, it's 23 and up, which is another really awesome thing.
Oh, yeah, right. I forgot about that.
I actually think that's really rad for a place like that. And we're just walking around for like 10 minutes. Where's the end of this place?
Just soaking it in, dude.
Yeah. What is happening? And then it just got busier and busier and busier. So it was cool.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome. That was obviously like the peak of the Stockholm leg. And I feel like everything leading up to that was just this like perfect swell of like an experience, because I mean, we really dove into the fika lifestyle.
Fika?
Fika.
Tell us about fika. The art, the act of fika.
Who explained it to us first? I think it was Wit.
Witter Kaz, yeah, one of those guys.
Kaz, and I personally was like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. What do you mean we just like sit down and have a coffee and like oh, so lunchtime? Like, but really getting into it, it's so much more than just taking a break.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of fika.
Yes, yes, man. Like, oh, really? Like that became the theme of the rest of the trip. Like that
time.
really just like resonated so deeply with all of us that it was like,
Yes, sir.
But I don't know. Is there such a thing as a 9 p.m. fika?
For us, there was.
There was a
Certainly on
lot of
that
9
trip.
p.m. fika.
Yeah, that's the thing. So fika is kind of, I don't even want to explain it wrong, but yeah, it's just the act of taking a break and enjoying a coffee and a pastry or something. But it's like the social aspect of it too.
Yeah.
So it's not just going and grabbing a cup of coffee.
Right.
It's like the act of what that all entails.
Oh yeah, the socializing part of it is a huge part of it too. It's not just like, oh, I'm gonna go grab a pastry and a coffee. It's like, I'm gonna go take a break from my day, just shut it down, enjoy a nice little Swedish pastry, a coffee, and a conversation.
That's what we're doing right now. We should have made some coffee.
Hey man, we could have fikaed right now.
I could have made us some coffee. I'm so sorry. Whip up a little espresso, a little American.
A little American for the Americans.
So from Stockholm, where'd we go?
We flew down to Nice, right?
We did. We flew to Nice, France, the south of France.
Yeah.
And then a 30-minute, it was supposed to be a 30-minute Uber. Remember being stuck in that?
Oh, the traffic.
It was fine. And then we literally got like 10 blocks away from our Airbnb, but we had so much stuff and it was so hot. We were like, we're just going to sit in the car.
It was seriously like gridlock.
It was supposed to take 30 minutes. It took an hour.
Yeah.
And yeah, tell us about Cannes.
Cannes, honestly, okay, Cannes was great, but that's also the part of the trip where like the wheels started falling off a bit. Like coming off this incredible Stockholm experience, we're like, sweet, we're gonna go to the beach, we're gonna go swim in the Mediterranean. There just so happened to be a yacht festival. Like,
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
that just so happened to be there. And yeah, but at the same time, like we didn't have a best stretch of luck for that trip.
It was, looking back on it now, I'm like, kind of want to go back, just jump off that dock and enjoy some evenings in
Dude,
Cannes.
jumping off the dock into the Mediterranean. Like at some point we had like all those kids and like their dads are like hanging out with us. I don't even remember where they were from.
I have no idea.
Some of the kids couldn't even speak English, but they were just so hyped to be like jumping off this little like pier with us.
They were so jazzed and they were so sweet. Like all the kids were sweethearts. All the dads were just so happy.
How many belly flops did they do?
Dude, the dads did so many.
They were doing some heavy belly flops.
Yeah, and they were just so genuine about that whole experience.
Oh yeah.
The dads were like, "Go do flips with the boys," kind of thing. And it was those moments on trips or just in life. I think those are like special moments, man.
Oh, very special.
Very special moments. But yeah, I mean, Ryan, the whole debacle with the bag getting stolen, his camera,
Just
that was brutal.
Yeah.
But in hindsight now, it's like that did saturate that leg of the trip a little bit, I think, for all of us. But I mean, dude, it was amazing. We went from that morning, I remember it's 26 degrees Fahrenheit in Stockholm. We walked out onto the plane, flew EasyJet from Stockholm to Nice, getting the 30-minute Uber to Cannes, and we got to Cannes and it was 85.
Yeah,
so we had experienced the day. I was wearing a hoodie and pants. I was like sweating. We get into the Uber and he like didn't use AC.
Well, dude, the other thing, we were in a different country all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, boom, we're in France.
We're in France. We're in a beach setting.
Yep.
Not in the middle. Excuse me. The Arlanda airport in Stockholm is literally, it kind of feels like it's in the middle of a farm field because it's out of the city quite a ways. So yeah, we went from that to, high, I don't want to say high profile because it's not like we were living a high profile life there, but Cannes is a very, you know, like nice place. It's
Oh yeah.
known
But
as
there's like movie festivals there.
the Cannes Film Fest.
Yeah.
Yep. Red carpets and everything, man.
Yeah. It was honestly cool just walking around and noticing the difference in cultures. Like all of a sudden, like the restaurants were totally different.
Yep.
And you know, we didn't really have too many interactions with a lot of people. And I know a lot of people talk about like France and French people in a certain light. And it's like, I don't think we had any really serious negative experiences with like the French culture and French people and
Not at all.
anything like that.
No, not at all. I think everyone's just kind of doing their own thing and living their own life. We had a loop, kind of. We followed every day. Remember, we'd like leave the Airbnb and kind of cruise that strip, go up, hit the beach, hit that strip, and then there was a really rad BMX store. I don't remember the name of it, but that was really cool to see.
Oh, yeah, the guy in there was pretty cool too.
Yeah, it's just cool to see like just that culture, being a BMX kid and just seeing it across the pond. And
wasn't he saying they were going to build like this crazy skate park out there?
Yeah. I actually don't remember the details, but I'm glad you mentioned that. I have to see if that's in the works or done or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was rad. And then every night we kind of hit the same loop of we didn't go to the same restaurant, but we'd go to a restaurant on that strip, and then we'd hit that. There was a really rad bar up on this hill.
Yeah.
And they had this tiny patio. How many bars on that hill? It's probably
a quarter. So much.
Yeah, it's probably like a quarter mile of just restaurants every 50 feet.
Yeah.
And
it was jam packed. It was almost like you're walking through an alley and there's just like all these bars, restaurants just packed into this. It was a pretty steep little hill going up. But then what was on top of the hill? There was like a castle with like the can.
We call it the Can Castle.
The Can Castle. Whatever it actually was. It was actually sick. And we had just ended up there every night. It seemed like, right?
Yeah, it was awesome. We checked out a sunset there. We went super late a couple of nights just to chill out and take in the views.
Oh yeah.
Can, you're beautiful. Thank you for a good time. And then from Can, baby boy, where did we go from Can? Because this place,
dude, I did not expect this leg of the trip to be so. The word I'm gonna use here is impactful.
Oh, I'm stoked you used that word.
It was like the shortest part of the trip because I think we had to kind of sacrifice days there. It was like, well, if we take one less day on this leg, we'll get an extra day on, I think in Paris was what we wanted to add to. And personally, I was like, yeah, we're just going to go up into the mountains and just hang out in the mountains for a couple days. And I was like, that's fine. And then we get there. And holy cow, was it incredible.
Yeah, a little change of pace, huh?
Yes, dude. Yeah, popping into Chamonix Mont Blanc.
In the French Alps.
In the French Alps.
Flew into Geneva. Hour and a half bus ride from Geneva Airport. Navigating that bus was a little rowdy, but
you missed a very large detail because we picked up.
Oh my god, we added a human.
We added a human to our entire crew.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I did miss that.
Which, like, honestly, that was wild.
It was awesome. It was incredible. When we were in Nice, we met this sweetheart. One of the sweetest humans I've ever met.
Yeah.
Jenna, I hope you're watching this. I hope you get a glimpse of this part. Yeah, we met Jenna and she ended up crashing on our couch the last night.
I think it was the last night
in Cannes.
Yeah. Crashed
on our couch. The next morning we woke up, we were all packing up. We were definitely running late for the airport and we were like, hey, we know you're on this solo cruise through.
She was just kind of like backpacking?
Yes, we know you're on this solo cruise.
She's American. She's from, where's she from?
Salt Lake City.
Yeah. She's just on this big backpacking journey across Europe and crossed paths with us. And we're like, yo, you want to go with us?
Yeah, we were literally like, hey, we know you don't have a solidified plan. And she was like, I think I might go here, but I might go here, but I might stay here for a couple of days. We're like,
just Jenna.
Heads up. We're going to
the mountains.
We're going to the airport in 20 minutes. And if you want to grab a flight, you're more than welcome to join us. She's like, wait, should I? Looks at her phone. I think the flight was like $80.
Dude, so cheap. I know we talked about this before, but it's like, hey, I just want to hop a flight from anywhere in Europe. super cheap.
That last minute too. She
Yeah.
literally purchased the flight 2 hours before.
This girl didn't even have a jacket.
No, nope. And we went to the top of the Aiguille du Midi. So yeah, Jenna came with us. She bought the flight. She came with us. We got to the airport. We were running very late. We didn't even have time to grab snacks, which was heartbreaking.
Honestly, yeah, that was kind of heartbreaking. We didn't have a chance to fika.
Yeah, we didn't have a chance. But we get to the airport, cruise up. Jenna's now part of the KIF crew.
Yeah.
She's cruising with us. And land in Geneva, grab a bus.
The bus was kind of chaotic.
Finding the bus, where to go was chaotic.
I remember like talking to these two guys. I don't know if they were cops or like security, whatever. And I heard them speaking Spanish to the people before me. And I was like, Spanish? Why are we speaking Spanish? Like so many different languages going on. So like I kind of like tried speaking the bare minimum Spanish that I know. And like,
For sure.
just to break the ice, getting into English stuff and like having a hard time finding out which bus we were supposed to be on, where it was at. And then didn't you run into somebody getting on the bus that you knew or something like that?
Dude, I don't even remember.
Someone knew somebody else getting on the bus, and it's like, what is happening? Like, we're literally in a totally different country, and like,
I wish I remembered this piece, but I know there was something weird that happened where it was like either someone I just met, or I don't know if it was someone I ran into or someone I knew that was just there, is what I was just trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're halfway across the world. Oh, we ran into some people from Colorado.
That's what it was.
That's what it was. It was so weird. They had flown in from like Boulder.
It was like this guy and his wife, right?
Yep. They were just like, yep, this is the bus you want to get on. Okay. Followed them, got on the bus. Our Airbnb, it landed in Chamonix an hour and a half later. Our Airbnb luckily was a block away.
Yeah.
It was perfect. And yeah, now we're in Chamonix. Unpack.
Again,
get
a
shower.
total change of pace.
Yeah.
Like going from Stockholm, which is kind of this like, fall weather, like
Big time
sweater
fall
weather.
vibes.
Coming from Nashville at that point, it was super hot and it was nice and refreshing to be in Stockholm.
Yeah.
Getting a head start on fall. But then obviously going to Cannes and then getting that like summer mode, like on the beach. And now we're in Chamonix up in the mountains and it is cold.
It is. Yeah. It's like legit fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get back, chill out, shower, do all that stuff. And then we go and get hot dogs.
Dude, that first night, like it was just kind of another reoccurring theme where we just kind of stumble into these like incredible just situations.
Yeah. The hot dog thing with the freaking DJ in the middle of the
Dude,
alley.
this place is just popping off. Again, same thing where we're just walking around town. We hear some loud bass. We're like, that sounds like a good time over there.
Follow the music.
Yes. Yep. And sure enough, like it ended up being such a cool like little party going on. The food there was pretty good too. And just like the perfect way to kick off this welcome to a new spot.
I guess I shouldn't call it a hot dog stand because it was a brat stand and it was insane.
It was insane.
It was so good.
Yeah.
And it was huge and it was a lot of food and that's just what we needed.
Dude, this DJ set was popping off. There was like a guy with a drum, it was almost like he had like a drumline situation going on with the DJ set.
Yeah.
It was so sick.
It was a whole like Red Bull event.
Is that what it was?
Remember he had a Red Bull DJ booth and stuff, so I forgot.
Yeah.
So it was legit. It wasn't just like this random weird dude. It was like a legit event in this alleyway. Beautiful night. We got to see the sunset over Mont Blanc. Beautiful clouds.
Standing on that bridge, that this like heavy stream that ran through town.
Yep.
Standing on that bridge, looking up at the mountains and stuff like that for that sunset was like incredible.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect way to end that day. And then next day, wake up early, hit the fika. We woke up
Rip some fika.
So early that day. We woke up so
yeah.
early. Yeah, we had one full day in Chamonix and we woke up early, ripped fika. We were like, hey, Jenna, we're doing this today.
Poor Jenna, like
I know. She's
mind
sick.
you, she's like not feeling well and she's like, she's got a runny nose.
Coughing.
Yeah.
Poor girl.
Just like struggling. She doesn't even have a jacket. It's cold out.
She literally wore, like all of us
We all
teamed
pieced
up
together.
and pieced together enough clothes for her to not freeze to death.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was, okay, so I guess I should build this out first though, but we got fika, went back to the place, got everything together, got the cameras ready, got the crew ready, got the layers ready, got the backpacks all sorted up and took one of the first trams up the Aiguille du Midi, it's called. And this is a tram that takes you to the top of this unbelievable overlook. It gives you a view of the Chamonix Valley.
Oh,
you have a view of Mont Blanc and all these glaciers, and a view of the Alps like nothing you've ever experienced. And there's these bridges that connect two, I don't even know, just two buildings that are bolted to the side of this mountain.
Yeah, like observatory type thing.
And there's an elevator that goes through rock. Oh. There's a cafe, and I had the most insane cup of coffee I've ever had up there.
Oh man,
I've never experienced a cup of coffee at the top of a mountain like that.
Like I'm getting that feeling again of like reliving that moment, and just like I said, I was not ready for that experience. I thought it was, we're just gonna go hang out on a mountain. Sure, we're gonna take a tram up to this thing, and it's like, after having that night before, it was like, holy cow, like we're in this new place and it's incredible and I'm excited. But like going through the whole process of going up there and getting a closer look of like where we actually were. Oh, dude, like incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And then so you go up this thing and you can get these passes in Chamonix. I actually should have done a little bit better research. So I could tell you what the pass was called, but basically these two mountains across from each other. You can take the tram up the Aiguille du Midi, and then there's a mountain on the other side of the valley. You can take a gondola up and do all this hiking, just different view. And you can get a pass it's like a 3-pack day pass. Yeah. So you can do all of the big 3 things in Chamonix in one day, which we got. And I want to say it was $80.
Yeah, something like that.
And we only used the Aiguille du Midi thing because we were so zonked.
Oh man, it was such a day, dude. The other part of this, I don't know if you remember this. Before we even went in there, we had considered skipping that leg altogether because the weather was supposed to be trash. The visibility was supposed to be like 0. Mm-hmm. And it was like, well, man, we're going to go all the way out here. We're not even going to, it was supposed to rain.
That's right. And we got the first tram up and got so lucky.
It was beautiful. It was literally like perfect conditions. And then I remember coming back down, going to that cafe where we sat down and had those sandwiches, which I've never had a sandwich like that before in my life. Not even the fact that it was like such a good sandwich, but just sitting there and like soaking in this whole experience that we had just had. Like, oh my God, that was so good. But I remember talking to some other people there, and I was like, oh, like, did you go up? Like, how was it? What did you think? And they said, oh, we didn't even get to go. Like, the visibility was trash because those clouds started coming in.
Yep. We got so lucky.
So lucky.
It was insane. Yeah, the sandwich was insane. We had some fika there too. Reload on calories and energy, and we did a little lake hike. I think that was only probably a mile.
Yeah, it wasn't too far off from the cafe there.
Lac Bleu.
Lac Bleu. There was that guy that jumped in there and went swimming around.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was insane.
So
legit alpine lake in the French Alps. He's like full blown swimming too.
Oh yeah.
He didn't just sit there.
His wife just sat there and watched him.
Yeah, then cruised back down and got unbelievable food again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Chamonix was, man, I hate to say it because it's so cliche and almost dorky, but it was life-changing, that spot.
Oh, dude, I would agree. I'd never experienced anything like that before.
So
and
sick.
like going on our trips to Denver before that, like I had a growing interest in like mountains.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is great. It's beautiful out here. Like that really just solidified like, dude, mountains are gorgeous. Being in the mountains is absolutely beautiful. And like just the complete change of pace going from, again, like the city experience in Stockholm, the beach, kind of jam-packed city in Cannes, and then going into the mountains where it was like just shut everything off. It was so quiet. It was peaceful. It was like the pace was totally different.
Like nothing else.
No,
the mountains,
nothing
man.
like it.
And then cruised on back to Geneva.
Yep.
Because we only had I think we were probably in Chamonix for 36 hours total, which was a mission because you do have to take the bus up. You have to fly into Geneva, blah, blah, blah. But boogie on back to Geneva and fly to Paris for the final leg of the tour.
Yeah. Well, that was also when we parted ways with Jenna.
Oh, you're
Which
right.
is crazy because we were just walking around. I think it was on the the Loch Blue leg where we were hiking over to the lake or hiking back or something like that.
Yep.
Met this girl. She was talking to her and her boyfriend. All of a sudden it was like, hey, I think they were going to Amsterdam or something like that. And she was like, okay, I know where I'm going next.
They were cruising. I think they were on a similar, I don't know where they were from. I don't remember. Somewhere in Europe, but they were on a similar path of backpacking maybe. It was awesome. Jenna's a freaking badass and so brave for being able to like just take that on and be like, yep, I'm gonna come stay with you guys in Amsterdam.
Right. The uncertainty of every move that you make and just kind of like happenstance, like run into somebody. It's like, cool, I guess this is where I'm going next.
Yep.
But also like that just kind of, it was kind of cool to get a little peek at the backpacking culture.
Big time.
And just how like welcoming it is and like how like just talking about her experiences that she had and you know how great all of her experiences were. It's like, wow, like that's incredible.
Yeah, she's awesome. Jenna, I hope you're watching this. You're awesome. We miss you.
She should do a pod with us.
She should. Ooh, Jenna, Salt Lake City, we're coming for you. And then we did boogie to Paris next, which was
right on to Paris.
Another dream come true. Truthfully, for me, it was just really badass to finally check that one off the list. And that was actually really funny. We landed, and remember that crazy Uber driver?
Oh, the way he drove. What was that?
Everyone's just ripping past us. And this dude, when I tell you, I have never experienced someone driving like this. This is an automatic car, small car.
Yeah.
All of our stuff had to
We're
fit.
jammed in there.
And this dude, something was rattling over the back wheel too, whole time like, and this dude's just throttling the gas up, down.
Oh my God, dude. Like just sitting in that car was one thing and getting that like
The
jerk back and
jerkiness.
forth.
Oh
but
my
then
gosh.
this guy was a chatty Cathy.
Oh yeah.
Not that he was like he was super informative. Absolutely like genius of a man.
Yeah,
He knew his way around the
Straight
land, and
up.
he was like, you know, you guys are new in town. You got to do this, that, and the other thing. This is how you go to that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But he was just non-stop while he was just like driving this back and forth with the throttle and the
He was
brakes.
so
It's
funny.
like, what the hell?
We were all just like, yeah, man. Oh, crazy.
Damn, that's
At one-
crazy. I'm like
yeah.
the 700th. Damn, that's crazy. And this guy is still just like driving like a weirdo.
Yeah, that was nuts. I have never. And he was straight up going 40 on the highway, whatever that equates to in kilometers. But everyone was just whipping by us. And he's in like the fast lane.
Yes, dude. What
People
is he
are just
doing
pissed
there?
off. Yeah, that was wild. But got in. Everything was good. We were in an insanely sweet Airbnb in a great location.
Well, dude, we had that first meal in Paris before we could even check into the Airbnb. It was like right around the corner.
You're right. With all of our luggage.
With all of our luggage sitting outside. That might have been the first time that it was like, you freaking tourists. Like, because, you know, we had all of our bags.
Yep.
You know, we sat outside this cafe. The waiter was just kind of like, what are you guys doing? What do you want?
Yeah.
And we were like, we don't know. We would just like to sit down and eat maybe.
Yeah. We were like anywhere that will let us put our luggage here and let us eat and drink coffee because we were all zombies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then Ryan ended up ordering the beef tartare.
It came out and he was like, what the fuck is this?
He was so hyped when he ordered it because I'm looking at the menu. I'm like, oh, sick. They have beef tartare. Like beef tartare's good. And he was like, oh, hell yeah, beef tartare. I'm getting that. Full confidence, full send.
Yep.
Plate arrives and he is confused.
Yeah.
He was almost pissed. He's like, they didn't cook my meal.
He's like, this isn't a burger. You're like, dude, you ordered the beef tartare.
Oh man, just like a welcome to Paris, buddy. But like, you know, I ended up trading with him whatever I had. I think I had like a quiche or something, which was also very delicious and I would have liked to have had, but I had some beef tartare instead.
Yeah. Awesome Airbnb right around the corner and an awesome cafe underneath. We had breakfast at a couple times.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Dude, I kind of wish we hit that spot a couple more times because, spoiler alert, we hung out there for the last night and that was a whole experience. But dude, okay. Do you remember our host, the Airbnb host?
Do you remember? Yes, I do.
Our Airbnb. Okay.
He had a hole in his pants.
Dude, I don't know if you guys even noticed the hole in his shorts. I don't even know how to describe this dude, but like his shorts he was wearing was almost like swimming trunks.
Yeah, but they were like silk.
They were like silky.
Yeah.
And there was a rip in the back. And I swear to God, I saw this dude's ball sack.
Fudge.
I like remember looking at you guys like, do you guys see this? And he's just like ripping around. I forget why we needed him
This
there.
dude was straight. Well, he was still cleaning when we rolled up. Because remember, we were like, we showed up right when we could check in.
Yeah.
Because we were all at that cafe and we were there probably 2 hours early. So we already extended our stay at this cafe. And he's like sprinting around, like, yeah, just let me know what you guys need. Oh, hold on, I gotta grab this. I gotta do this.
Yeah.
And then he came back like 10 minutes later, remember?
That's right, that's right.
And he's in panic mode, like, forgot to grab the rags. And he, I don't even know. But yeah, that dude was hilarious.
Yeah, he was all over the place.
Yeah, and he just had a baby, we found out.
That's
so
right,
that was another piece to his manic mode.
Oh, yeah.
So
Poor guy, like his shorts were ripped.
but yeah, Paris was awesome, man. It's definitely on the list to hit again. And I think you could spend weeks, months, years there and not see everything it has to offer.
No, not a chance. And it's like almost overwhelming because like everything you look at is so beautiful. And it's just like, it's hard to appreciate everything because it's so much at once.
There's so much going on.
Like a lamppost. You're looking at a lamppost and it's like, this thing is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, just the landmarks, the history, the people. There's so much just cool stuff going on, so much cool art, so many cool museums. And of course, you finally get to see the Eiffel Tower, which we like saw a peek of on the way to the Airbnb, and we were flipping.
Yeah, dude, of course.
It was so cool standing at the bottom of that thing and knowing history, and then the Arc de Triomphe.
Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah. That was cool.
Super cool. You get up on the top and you can kind of see everything from there. You get a really cool view of the Eiffel Tower from there too.
Unreal view, man. That was cool. But yeah, and kind of just was an extension of everything else, good restaurants, good fika, good views. And the last couple days of the trip, I think it started to hit like, damn, it's the last day or the last 2 days.
Here.
Yeah.
We had kept kind of joking about it, like, just kind of teasing about the fact that it's wrapping up and how we feel about it and everything like that. But of course, like the closer you get to it, the more it really is like, oh, this is getting more real, that this is finally kind of coming to an end.
Yep. It was brutal. Yeah, the last day, I feel like we tried to pack a bunch. And then remember us looking at each other and being kind of like, yo, we forgot to do the catacombs.
Oh, yeah. I forgot what we did that day, but it was like, oh, no worries, we'll do the catacombs. No worries, we're going to go do the catacombs. Then it was like, we finally got back to the place and it was like, holy cow, we forgot to do the catacombs.
And it closes in, oh my gosh, 30 minutes.
We hadn't gotten tickets. We just realized that they're about to close. And
Or
it's full
like
panic.
last ticket is in 30 minutes. Because I think they let you go till dark or whatever.
Yeah.
That sucked.
Dude.
What did we do?
Man, we broke some laws. We hopped on our
we did
Lime
a lot
bikes.
of that.
I'm pretty sure that entire
that.
Paris trip was brought to you by Lime Bike because we just ripped those around town, all of it, which again was sick. Getting into that whole kind of scooter bike community thing, like,
of course,
absolutely perfect in Paris too. But
sorry,
bro, pure panic mode.
Yeah, I think it was legit 30 minutes, and it was like a 26-minute bike ride.
Yeah,
and we had to walk to the bikes. I think we still had to like get dressed, kind of thing, or not just get ready.
Oh yeah,
like get the bags ready. We went crazy. I've never ridden a bike so fast, or at least a Lime bike.
Like ripping through a city like that felt like it was a movie. Like this super intense, like, oh my, yes,
Q
dude.
sandstorm.
Yeah, dude, like everything was just moving like crazy. We're all like, let's go this way. Oh shit, we gotta go that way. Look out.
Yeah.
Like just running through red lights, just cutting people off, just being complete shitheads, scrambling to try and get to the catacombs.
And we didn't make it.
No, we didn't. We made it to the catacombs. We didn't get there in time.
I think we were like 6 minutes late.
Dude, honestly, like looking back on that, and I still feel so bad. Like once I saw the look on Ryan's face, and I don't think he like fully accepted it right away.
Yeah.
He was like, no, like we made it. And it's like, no, buddy, like we can't go in. He's like, no, but like we're here. It's like, yeah, but like we didn't make it. And
They
he was
said
just
no.
like so heartbroken. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh man, that sucks, dude.
It was funny because again, Paris has so much going on and there's so many things happening in that city at all times that it was almost an afterthought or not an afterthought, but at the bottom of the list to hit them, which is kind of weird thinking about because it was so exciting for us. But yeah, it's crazy that, I don't know, there's just so much you can do that you forget about stuff like that. That's so cool and so prominent.
And like, I kind of felt bad because, you know, I had been to Paris once before. I'd only taken a day trip into Paris.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing I did was go check out the catacombs
Yep.
and then check out the Eiffel Tower. Literally, like the first time I saw the Eiffel Tower, it was like, cool, there it is. Turned around, walked away. Like maybe took one picture of it.
Yep.
Went to the Arc de Triomphe.
That is
and was
so
like,
crazy.
all right, this is like really sick. There's the Eiffel Tower again. Now we got to go. We got to catch the train. It was a trip to London.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
But dude, like having that experience of my own, I was like, man, I want my boys to have this experience. They would absolutely love it in there because it is so sick and it's so fun to just like walk around. There's so much to learn. Like there's, I don't know, that just like the whole.
Who doesn't love skulls?
Who doesn't love skulls? But yeah, the pure disappointment of just like, dang, we didn't make it, and was that the last day?
Yeah, that was the last day. That was the kind of the cap was like, oh my God, we got to see it still.
Yeah.
Or else I don't think it would have been as big of a deal. But yeah, and then we cruised back, kind of started to get everything, torn down and packed up. And
Things started getting real.
yeah, boogied to the cafe, went to the gift shops.
Yep.
And then hit the cafe under our Airbnb.
Yeah.
That was the last thing we did.
Dude, I was so hungry that night. Like every once in a while I have these like food moments where I can't stop eating.
You go a little crazy.
Dude, I'll have a whole meal and then I'm like, you know what? I gotta have a whole meal. And then I'll eat another whole meal. And then I'm like, dang, I can go for a snack. Like, I don't know what it is. I just snap into these things. And that night it happened. And going to that cafe, like right under our Airbnb, like I had a poke bowl. And I was like, wow, this is such a good poke bowl. And just like sitting there in the moment that we were having.
Yeah.
We ended up sitting next to this kind of older couple from the
Oh,
US.
yeah. Yep. They're from Chicago.
Yeah. And they were like, wow, it's so great that you guys are traveling, especially a younger age. Like, I think they were even saying like, oh, we wish, or no, I think they said that they had traveled quite a bit.
He did. Yeah. And he was like, that was the first time. It was a guy and his sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was her first time ever out of the country at 50, like 55, I think she was. So
Yeah.
it was awesome.
It was kind of a cool moment talking to them. And, I ended up getting a cheeseburger afterwards because you guys had so many cheeseburgers on that trip. I'm like, bro, we're in Europe. You guys are getting cheeseburgers? And I'm looking at these cheeseburgers. I'm like, those do look pretty
Dude, the one
good,
I had
though.
in Paris. Yeah, I got two while we were in Paris. And the one we had before that, I don't know if it was the day before or what, but it was the most insane cheeseburger I've ever had.
Yeah, dude, that one that I had that night was incredible. And then, of course, like it kind of started drizzling a bit.
Yep.
Last night
It set the mood.
Yeah.
We're in this like old, it was cool too because the road that we were staying on wasn't like a main street at all. It was close to a main street, but so there's all these cool like blade signs and stuff, like those vintage old signs and everything. It kind of felt like, man, not to be nostalgic, but it kind of felt like a little World War II vibes. Like it's raining and like there's these old signs and old buildings and all the lighting on the streets is very yellowy orange, very warm. I don't know. It was just a very interesting sight.
And it was like the end of our trip.
Yeah. So we're all just like, oh man, this sucks.
Like, I feel like the end of a trip like that, it's mixed emotions.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's like, man, we've just been living out of a suitcase for 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Just moving from spot to spot, trying to take in as much as possible. And
Yep.
and then it's like, man, it'd be really nice to just like finally get home and just kind of like
Reset.
just reset. But at the same time, it's like I think we could have had another 2 legs of that. We would have been fine.
Yeah. I would have been all right. Keep going. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things, man. I know we've said it a million times before, you and I, in conversation. I think we mentioned it in our traveling episode that we kind of just brushed on. But yeah, you get to the end of that trip and you're like, well, what else could I do?
Yeah.
It opens a new And again, I know it probably sounds cheesy to a lot of people who do have a lot of access to this kind of thing or have done it a lot, but it does kind of, it just expands your mind and
Oh yeah.
what you're even capable of comprehending and thinking. So
Well, dude,
it's
like
exciting.
the trip, obviously, like we finished in Paris, but the trip did not like really end there for me at least.
Yeah, true.
Because like, man, like coming back to the US, it was like, okay, the trip's over, we're going home. But it's still like you still got to go home.
Yep.
There's still
Still
a
gotta
lot to
make
be
it.
done. And yeah, man, I flew into JFK, got hung up at customs, and then had to switch terminals. So I had to get on a train to go catch the other terminal, had to recheck my bag. TSA was an absolute nightmare. And I pull up to my gate right at departure time. And I'm like, yo, I made it. And they're like, oh, the plane's gone. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you like? That's such a bummer. And it was like one of the last flights out.
Yep.
And they had said, well, you can either hop on this last flight into Boston and then stay in Boston and wait until like noon the next day to fly out, or you can try to find somewhere to stay tonight and then fly out like noon the next day out of JFK.
Yep.
And I was like, these options are terrible. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to rent a car and drive back to Nashville, which like I was excited about because I was still in adventure mode. Like
You were
I
in
still,
wild
like,
child mode.
dude, I was coming off of this like crazy adventure across Europe, and I'm like, you know what? I'm still in this
Yep.
adventure state. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do something crazy. I'm just gonna rent a car and drive from New York to Nashville. But I didn't anticipate the like whole driving in New York City thing.
Yeah.
And holy cow, was
Added some
that an
time.
experience? Like lanes are closed, you're trying to merge, nobody will let you in. It's absolute chaos. Everything's moving. It's like, dude, when we were ripping
Middle
on
fingers
bikes
everywhere.
trying to get to the catacombs,
Yep.
same feeling while I was driving. Like I was in another scene from a movie, and then once I finally kind of just started getting out of the city and things slowed down,
Yep.
it was like that huge resolve in a movie where everything was just like, oh, like I made it out. Like
Get to the country. Just open
down
roads.
to the country.
80 miles an hour. And
Started getting a little tired.
yeah, I'm sure.
Because I had just had this crazy trip, and all of a sudden it settled in that I have a huge drive in front of me.
Yeah. What is it? 12 hours? 10, 12 hours?
I think it was like almost 13.
Holy crap.
So like I ended up having to, I pulled over, took a little nap, and then yeah, good to go. Ripped on down to Nashville.
Man, the best part about that for me was the fact that literally none of us knew that you did that until you were like an hour away from Nashville. It was just like, yeah, man, you make it good. Yeah, made it back to New York. So it was just kind of like, not that we lost communication, but everyone was just like, all right, everyone's back in the States.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's good. Like,
Yeah, everyone just kind of dispersed, and it was like, oh, okay, like we did it. We made it back home.
yeah, let's all go breathe.
Yes.
And then, yeah, I want to say I texted you like, hey, how you doing this morning kind of thing. Oh, because you had like an MRI or something the next day.
Yeah, I had to get my hip looked at.
Yeah. You,
Oh, that's why I had to scramble. I was like, I don't have time.
yeah, you
Like,
literally
I have
had
to
an
get
MRI the next day. So yeah, I hit you up. I think it was just like, yo, make it back all good. You're like, you are not going to believe my last 24 hours. Like, what do you mean, dude?
I'm over here battling, and your boy Jason's just like cozied up in bed, like, oh, what a great trip I just had.
Yeah, straight up. Because all three of us took different flights out of Paris. And yeah, it was just like, hey man, make it back good. My brother in Christ, you will not believe the last 12 hours or last 24 hours I've had.
Oh man, it was a good drive because it gave me an opportunity to kind of sit with my thoughts and kind of reflect on everything that happened and just kind of like, be grateful for the experiences that I had.
Of course.
And like, looking forward to finally getting back home and like kind of letting it all settle in. So the drive itself was actually not that bad.
Yeah, and like you said, if you're still wired, why not just send it? You had to get back. So, or I assume you probably would have had to delay the heck out of an MRI or something.
Dude, the sleep that I got laying down in that thing, like the best sleep.
Like, in an MRI.
If you need anything, like let us know. Like a lot of people, like it gets kind of crazy in there. Some people kind of panic, whatever. I'm like, I'm fine.
You're like just
I'm
gone.
good.
The world is dead to you.
Oh my god.
Oh man, it was an amazing trip, life-changing trip, and I'm excited to do it again with you and Ryan this year.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, talking last night, we didn't get too much planning done last night, but Even just kind of getting these talks going again, kind of like we did last year. It was like, all right, here we go.
I know we were sending each other photos. We were sending each other photos of like the Matterhorn, and so basically, for people listening or watching, basically our goal with the last trip was to hit a place. Stockholm was kind of a culmination. It was like to see Kaz and Wit and do that whole thing, but also it was a place I've always wanted to visit, and we thought would be cool. So that was kind of like a rad city, then a coastal spot, then we wanted to see a mountain spot, and then Paris is just Paris. So
it's just a big. You got to knock it off the list.
Yeah, so we wanted to hit kind of all different geographical, places.
Yeah,
anything that was different and cool. So that's kind of the goal this year is mountain spot, coastal spot, and I don't know. We haven't figured it all out yet, but we're really excited.
I just remember, dude, you punched some prompt into ChatGPT to read out a whole Europe trip, and it gave you a whole itinerary, and it was actually like sick,
pretty sick. Yeah, so maybe I'll have to make a vlog of that. Maybe we should just follow it. That's really funny. You texted me and we're like, dude, a YouTube video of that would be epic.
That would pop off.
I was telling Ryan that. I was like, how crazy would it be if you did? Like, I punched a European trip into ChatGPT and followed it exactly, whatever it is. I don't know. But yeah, it'd be kind of cool. The one it spit out was sick. It even named out like specific cathedrals to go see and sites. So we'll see.
Dude, the way it even just like described certain cities, like, indulge in the vibrant city's historic whatever district, blah blah blah. And it was like, wow, this sounds
the vibrant culture of Barcelona. You're like, okay.
Okay, you got me hooked, ChatGPT. Yeah. Okay,
maybe we'll do that. Maybe we should do a whole ChatGPT KIFCAST episode.
You talking like fully scripted ChatGPT? Like we're reading.
That would suck. Hello, today is brought to you by. Anyways, we'll keep this thing. I can't even say short because it's an hour and 6 minutes. But we just kind of want to jump on here and reflect on a rad trip, tell some stories. That's what this whole thing's about, and telling our stories, telling other people's stories. So if you made it this far, as usual, thanks as always. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Do all the things, and
all the things.
Thanks for listening to us ramble.
Yeah, you guys are great.
You guys are really great. Thanks again.
Incredible.
And I hope you like this episode. Got anything else, Bones?
Nope.
All right. KIFCAST, baby.
KIFCAST out.
KIFCAST. Love you so much. Stay tuned for more.
Okay, thanks. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.